Hi, everybody. Meteorologist Joe Cioffi. Weather in 5 days and 5 minutes on this chilly Sunday. Cool, chilly air came down from the north overnight, and it's going to be with us today. We're going to see clouds increasing, and then we're keeping an eye on an area of rain that's creeping up from the south, and we'll see how far north it gets or whether it dries up before it gets here. Weather in 5 is brought to you by Omni True Value Hardware, Long Island's largest rock salt provider. Rock salt, straight salt bag, geomelt, biomelt, mulch, recycling, topsoil, gravel, and more. No matter what the size of your fleet, or maybe you're just an individual that needs a new shovel for the upcoming winter or want to make sure you have enough salt on hand, Omni True Value Hardware will meet your needs, serving the New York City and Long Island area. 1226 North Wellwood Avenue, West Babylon, New York, 631-756-1125, or go to the website omnitruevalue.com. So we've got an interesting week coming up because overnight we gave birth to a new tropical Storm Zeta in the Northwest Caribbean. It's a fairly tight, well-defined ball of convection from what you can see on the satellite view here, and it will be moving northward very slowly. So we're not really going to see it do very much. There are tropical storm warnings up for the northeastern part of the Yucatan Peninsula and also for western Cuba. And then eventually it looks like it's going to head for the Gulf Coast, and it may end up heading for Louisiana, in which case it will be another record-breaking season in that this could be the fifth hurricane to make landfall in the state of Louisiana, which will take out the record that was set back, I believe, in 2005. So in the meantime, you see the forecast track from the Hurricane Center. It's at 17.7, 83.5. Top winds are 40 miles an hour. Forecast to strengthen to a hurricane. And then it might weaken a bit as it approaches the Gulf Coast because the water temperatures in the northern Gulf of Mexico now are lot cooler than what they were just about a month ago. And we bring this up because this, I think, is going to wind up having the potential for producing heavy rains along the East Coast from the Mid-Atlantic up to southern New England, and actually heavy rains might be even further south than that. This is going to be a very wet system with the tropical flow that is setting up. You can see it here on the wider satellite view, just to give it some perspective, with Zeta down, still in the Northwest Caribbean. Again, a lot of time here that we're talking. We're talking about something maybe on Thursday. And all of that tropical moisture is going to be open to move up the eastern seaboard. Meanwhile, from Zeta on off the east coast of Florida, and then further north from there, we have yesterday's cold front, which is now a weakening frontal boundary, and there's a little bit of a low that is developing, very weak low, nothing especially deep here. We're just talking about enough of lower pressures off the Carolinas to create a weakness, and that's pushing back up clouds. So I just don't know how much sun we're going to see today in areas north of New York City. Maybe there'll be some. To the south, there will be little or none. And then there's the question of whether there's some rain with this that moves on up to the northeast with it. And you'll see on the view from Canada, also still dealing with the remnants of Hurricane Epsilon moving northeastward. It looks like it's going to pass just southeast of Newfoundland, but looks that also will probably come close with the center offshore. This will be extratropical later today, but the important thing about Zeta was about Epsilon was the fact that we had to wait for it to get out of the way to get all these weather systems to start moving again. That's why we sat in gloom and doom for much of last week. This week, we're going to sit in gloom and doom for a bunch of different reasons because now weather systems are moving and they seem to be concentrated here along the East Coast. Now, here's this area of rain, and there are some heavier rains down in parts of Virginia, western North Carolina, sort of arcs northeastward across Washington, Baltimore, and into the Delmarva Peninsula. But it's having a tough time moving northward because of the dry air that is sitting in New England. And that I'm banking on that to hold the rain back for a good portion of the day. It does get into southern Pennsylvania and southern New Jersey by noontime or early afternoon, but it might take the rest of the day to inch northward, so it may not make it to northern New Jersey, New York City, Long Island, and southern New England until sometime very late in the afternoon, or maybe even during the evening hours after sundown. And I don't see this as being a big rain producer anyway. So if you've got things to do today, uh, if you're uh, if you're in southern Pennsylvania, southern New Jersey, and point south, obviously you got to keep an eye on this area of rain. If you're north of there, certainly if you're north of 195 or 78, and on north and northeastward from there into southern New England, Hudson Valley, Long Island, and so on, I think you're going to be fine uh, for much of this day, if not all of it. So, looking at where we're going this week with respect to rainfall, take a look at what the weather prediction folks are showing for rainfall. 3 to 5 inch rains from Oklahoma eastward across the lower Ohio Valley, through the northern mid Atlantic states, almost to about New York City. And then you've got the inch-and-a-half line running into southern New England, and then it kind of tails off a little bit. We would like to see this a little bit further to the north so that the folks in southern and southeastern New England that are under a severe drought would benefit from all of this. But this is all in response to the remnants of whatever Zeta does. And also, there's going to be low pressure coming out of the southern plains that's going to take advantage of all that tropical moisture. Don't really believe it makes too much of a difference how strong this tropical storm gets, because at the end of the day, it's all about the moisture that'll be streaming up the eastern seaboard. So here's how it sets up for today. We're going to use the NAM model, and you'll see that rain just has a really tough time. We're up to 2 o'clock this afternoon, and the rain has barely moved northward. So it's after that it starts to shoot up a bit because the high pulls out a little further to the east and opens up an alleyway. But again, it really does have a difficult time, and it's not intensifying in any way, shape, or form. So there'll probably be some showers of rain during the overnight into Monday, maybe a few scattered showers during the day Monday, but on the whole, it's just going to be a cloudy day. Temperatures today are going to have a tough time, by the way. Upper 40s and low 50s that's pretty much the maximum, and many areas are just going to be in the 40s throughout much of today. Then, as we move on into Tuesday and beyond, we're going to have this stalled frontal boundary near the coast, so there'll be a couple of ripples of low pressure that'll move along and bring some showers with that. You can see how the NAM has some showers here for Tuesday night into Wednesday. And then it all will depend on what happens with Zeta and this low in the southern plains. Here it is Wednesday afternoon, moving onshore. The GFS has it somewhere on the near Mobile, Alabama. The European model is further to the west in Louisiana. So you kind of have to narrow this track down. But with everything that's going on in the upper air, it does suggest that that heavy rain will be moving up the East Coast for Thursday and Thursday night. I don't know if there's going to be some kind of separate second wave that the GFS has been picking up on. Usually, it winds up being one low that rather than two separate ones. The thing that this model is doing is that it has a distinct remnant low with Zeta, and then it has the second upper low with the energy that's swinging around from the west, and the surface low that goes with it. So it does two systems, and it also even shows some snow well up into upstate New York out of this, with some colder air coming in behind it. So it does look like we're going to have a bit of a forecast challenge for the end of the week. So we'll be on top of that. In the meantime, try and enjoy your Sunday. I went long sleeve today, and you can probably wear my sweatshirt as if I head outside. So bear that in mind. It is going to be cold. It's always easier to overdress. If it's too warm, you can always take something off. But if you decide not to do that and it's cold, then you're stuck. Just once again, Weather in 5 brought to you by Omni True Value Hardware, Long Island's largest rock salt provider. 1226 North Wellwood Avenue, West Babylon, 631-756-1125. OmniTrueValue.com for more information. It's all your winter weather needs, whether you need salt, spreaders for the springtime, maybe you need some shovels, or perhaps even something more mechanical as far as snow removal is concerned. Omni True Value Hardware in West Babylon. Have a great day, everybody. We'll see you later. The Joe and Joe Weather Show, Sunday morning, as always, at 11 o'clock Eastern Time. Be there or be square. Bye.